1/3 of all cars on U.S. roads come from Japanese brands: Toyota, Honda, Nissan. These companies aren't just foreign automakers. They're deeply rooted in America, employing over 400,000 workers and supporting millions more jobs. But in 2024, the U.S. government made a shocking move, slapping them with heavy tariffs, treating them like economic enemies. Japan's response? They didn't scream. They didn't retaliate. Instead, they quietly walked away, shifting billions in investments out of the U.S. and straight into China's waiting arms. This is how America's trade war backfired, and how it might have just handed China the biggest win of the decade. For decades, Japanese automakers played by America's rules. They built factories in Ohio, Texas, and Alabama. They hired American workers, bought American steel, and helped build entire towns around their plants. But when the U.S. imposed a 25% tariff on imported cars, it didn't just hit vehicles shipped from overseas, it punished cars built right here in North America. Nissan's Rogue SUV, for example, is made in Japan for the U.S. market. Overnight, it became 25% more expensive, forcing Nissan to slash production. Toyota and Honda faced the same dilemma. The message from Washington was clear. Even after 40 years of loyalty, Japan wasn't safe from America's economic whims. Unlike China or Europe, Japan didn't respond with loud threats or counter-tariffs. Instead, they executed a quiet but devastating pivot. Toyota announced a $2 billion electric vehicle plant in Shanghai, its first wholly owned factory in China. Nissan cut U.S. production and shifted focus to Southeast Asia. Honda accelerated plans in Mexico, where tariffs wouldn't apply. These weren't panicked reactions. They were calculated moves Japan had prepared for years. The U.S. thought it was protecting jobs, but in reality it was pushing away its closest ally, and Japan wasn't going to wait around to see what America did next. While the U.S. was busy alienating Japan, China swooped in with offers too good to refuse. Cheap loans, tax breaks, guaranteed access to the world's largest car market. Beijing's message was simple: you don't need America, work with us instead. And Japan listened. Now, Toyota is building batteries in Thailand. Nissan is expanding in Indonesia. Honda is locking in deals with Chinese tech firms. Even South Korea, traditionally a U.S. ally, is being pulled into China's orbit, with Samsung and Hyundai eyeing joint ventures with Beijing. The U.S. thought tariffs would bring manufacturing home. Instead, they're pushing Asia into China's hands. This isn't just about cars. It's about trust, and America is losing it fast. Every time the U.S. slaps tariffs on allies, it pushes them closer to China. Europe is negotiating its own deals with Beijing. Southeast Asia is signing China-led trade pacts. Even Mexico, America's backyard, is now a hub for Japanese companies avoiding U.S. tariffs. The more America isolates itself, the stronger China's grip on global trade becomes. And once these supply chains shift, they won't come back. The U.S. wanted to protect jobs, but its short-term tactics are causing long-term damage. Japan isn't begging for relief. It's moving on. China isn't just competing, it's winning. And America? It's waking up to a harsh reality. In a trade war, the biggest casualty isn't the enemy. It's the allies you pushed away. The question now is, will Washington realize its mistake before it's too late? What do you think? Was America's tariff strategy a huge mistake, or was it worth the risk? Drop a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe for more unfiltered breakdowns of the global economy. Because in this new trade war, the rules are changing fast, and if you're not paying attention, you'll miss the moment China takes the lead.